So I bought her out, and that home was just screaming. It was screaming that it needed to be a senior residential care home. And so, I started marketing and reaching out to those people in that industry, and sure enough, we got a 5-year contract. It's triple net, and so now they are paying all of the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, the everything, and the base rent. So, had I not pivoted, I would have lost out on that opportunity from having just a traditional gross rent paying long-term tenant to now having a 5-year triple net tenant.
Welcome to the Real Estate Pros Show, where we interview real estate investing professionals from coast to coast, as well as the service providers that serve the real estate investing industry. Our goal is simple: share what's working now to help you improve and scale your business to the next level and meet the pros that can help you get there. Real Estate Pros is powered by Investor Fuel, America's leader in helping real estate investors and professionals build the business you need to live the life you've always dreamed of. Let's start today's show. Property insurance for real estate investors doesn't have to be difficult, but it does need to be there to protect you when you need it. MyInvestorInsurance.com not only provides insurance at 15 to 30% cheaper than traditional agencies, it's built specifically for real estate investors like you. You can set up an account in about 2 minutes, get quotes on properties, turn on and turn off insurance for your fix and flip or rental properties in around 2 minutes without having to talk to anyone directly, all through our portal. There's no better way or faster way to make sure you've got the coverage you need to protect you, and no more lengthy policies either. Once you're set up, you're billed monthly and prorated by the day for however long your policy is active. It's powered by MSI, the third largest independent MGA, with 1.5 million customers and more than $1 billion in cumulative premiums written. Get set up today in about 2 minutes at myinvestorinsurance.com/fuel.
Welcome back to the Real Estate Pros podcast. I'm Kristen, and I'm here with Elizabeth Luna, who is a full-time real estate problem solver out of San Antonio, Texas. She's been doing this since 2004, so I'm excited to get into it. Thanks for being here, Elizabeth.
Thank you for having me, Kristen. I really appreciate it.
So you have a great portfolio. You have buy and holds, flips, short-term, mid-term. How did you get into this industry to begin with?
So, my background is corporate marketing and public relations, and I started investing in real estate back in 2004 because I wanted to diversify my sources of income. I did a lot of reading back in the day, and everything that I read was leading to real estate. And so, while I had my day job, and as a single person, I started investing in real estate and started buying a small portfolio over the years, working nights, weekends, holidays, self managing, handling my own property tax protests, and slowly over time building my contractor crew and a crew that I still have today, 20 years later. So we've had a wonderful relationship. And so after and in the corporate world, I'm sure you hear and your viewers hear a lot about layoffs. And after the third corporate marketing layoff experience, my financial advisor sat me down and then about 5 years ago, um, told my husband, Elizabeth's doing better in real estate. Let her do that full time instead of going back to a corporate job.
Mhm.
So that's what I've been doing ever since.
And how was that transition going from a full-time job, doing this on the side, and then making this full-time? Was there a learning curve, or were you able to just kind of glide right into it?
I was able to glide right into it. I think the biggest transition was like the inner guilt of not reporting back to work and that internal struggle of like, what do I do with myself? Am I really doing the right thing? But after about 6 months, I got over it.
Yeah.
And and just really dove in into okay, if I'm going to do this full time, I need to be serious about this. So I started researching online about networking, educational programs, any mentoring programs in the Texas market that would help me hone those skills. And I did find such a program, and that helped me elevate to the level where I'm at now.
Stop living on an island and join the #1 mastermind in America for professional real estate investors. Investor Fuel is a community of hundreds of the nation's top investors working together to build stronger businesses and better lives. In addition to the amazing community of real estate investors acting as a board of advisors for one another, Investor Fuel members have access to 100% funding on purchase and repairs for our members only, a health insurance program, and benefits and discounts that more than pays for the membership of most of our members, meaning it's actually costing you money to not be a member of Investor Fuel. If you're looking to scale your business and build a business that allows you to live the life of your dreams, please visit investorfuel.com today and book a call with our team.
Yeah, I think networking is so important, and I know that's a very strong trait of yours. You're a connector. So can you talk more about networking and giving value to people?
Absolutely. So, networking is very important, but more importantly, if you really want to survive in this industry, you need the proper education and mentoring. Because this is a very hazardous industry, financially, legally, and there's a lot of risk involved. So you definitely need to educate yourself. And so I've made it my commitment over the years to continue that education. And so when I go out to network, I'm able to connect people with appropriate resources and people and avenues and solutions to whatever real estate problems they have. And that's why I market myself as a real estate problem solver, because whatever the problem is, I know someone who can help solve the problem. It may
Yeah.
not be me directly, but I know someone who does. And so I'm happy to make those connections so that way people can have a good experience in real estate.
Yeah, it's such a great superpower to have, especially in this industry. And I can imagine the more you give value to people, the more it comes back to you.
Absolutely. And as a matter of fact, one of our clients is the one that named our company. And the client named our company Heaven Sent because he came in from Arkansas to handle the estate of his late brother who passed away. And he passed away, leaving behind an adult disabled nephew. And so this gentleman came in and not knowing where to go and what to do. And we were introduced to each other by his sister-in-law, and sat down with him. He needed help clearing out the personal property of the house, finding a care home for the adult disabled nephew, liquidating cars, rehoming animals, legal guardianship paperwork. I mean, real heavy hitting stuff, finding a care home for his nephew. And through the resources that I have cultivated through networking groups, non real estate related, so talking to attorneys, talking to senior care home providers, talking to sale people, talking to animal shelters, I was able to help that family, and we got that all mapped out in 3 hours.
Wow, that's amazing. I
And
mean,
so after that meeting, I mean, after the 3 hours, he was like, "Wow, Elizabeth, you're really heaven sent because you've done more for me in 3 hours than I've been able to do in 3 days."
mm,
And so we kept the name.
I love that. No, that's amazing. And I mean, it's just a really good example of how you're able to give value and really, change the trajectory of people's lives. I'd love to talk about, you mentioned before you still have the same contracting team that you had 20 years ago. How do you go about finding the right people and how do you cultivate that relationship and make sure somebody's aligned with you?
Absolutely. So, we have very direct conversations with each other on expectations, roles, expectations, the scope of work, the budget, and we treat each other as human beings more than anything else.
Mhm.
And we know life gets in the way, and they're valuable to me. I'm valuable to them because I provide them with steady work, reliable checks that'll clear the bank. And so by maintaining that the humanity level of the contractor relationship, still holding firm boundaries. You still
Mhm.
have to have your firm boundaries and hold them accountable for the quality of their work. But we have a high level of trust. I mean, we in the past have shared Home Depot accounts, because we know where the materials are going and who's going to get the credit, who's going to get the refund, who's going to get the points.
If you're looking for consistent, high-quality leads, look no further than Investor Machine. Investor Machine isn't just another agency, it's the most sophisticated, data-driven lead generation company on the planet for real estate investors, and serves the role of being not just a lead generator for your business, but a marketing partner that is helping you achieve your goals along the way. Go to investormachine.com to learn more and schedule a call with our team today.
you know? And whenever there's a big project that I have them working on, I take the time to bring them breakfast tacos. I invite them to the year-end company celebration parties. A lot of people leave out these crews and they're hard workers. They spend a lot of time away from their families and they're providing for a livelihood for their family and their children, and their kids are about the same age as mine.
Mhm.
So we make the time to invest in each other and with a high level of respect and accountability.
Absolutely, and I think that's something that kinda gets lost in the partnership a lot. Can you talk about maybe a time where things didn't work out, where maybe you hired someone that wasn't aligned with you and how you figured that out and dealt with it?
Absolutely. So we had a project that was a referral to me through one of my networking resources, non-real estate related. And I got the property under contract with a partner, and the partner was funding the project. And so she selected the contractor and and not my crew, which was fine. She was paying the bill. So, we gave her that latitude. And within a few weeks, we knew it was the wrong person. And eventually I had to step in and we fired the person, and we got under a lawsuit situation over it. Tons of fun. And we were able to, because of my connections with lawyers, and we were able to get a settlement and get it worked out and resolved. And then I was after that, I was able to bring in my crews to finish the project. And so there are times where you have to let people go, and with other people, most of my contractors stay with me a minimum 5 years.
Mm,
And my A team has been with me for 21 years. My B team's been with me about 7 years, and my C team, we're going on a 1 year stretch.
yeah,
So I have tiers on my contractors, um, and the ones that get the big projects are the ones that are my A team. They're not the cheapest.
mhm,
Right.
yeah,
There's always room for negotiation and wiggle room. But I know that when I'm paying top dollar for them, I know I'm going to get quality work. And if they miss something, they'll come back and not charge me for a return trip,
mhm,
because they'll ensure that the quality of the work they stand by the quality of their work.
mhm,
Now, if it's a quick little repair at one of my rentals, then I'll call my B team or my C team, and they still do good work, but they have other projects that they're working on. I'm not their only client.
right.
So, I kind of rotate through the workload to disperse the work where it makes sense, and which contractor I know that their skill sets are fit for that project.
I think that's a really good point. I've actually never heard somebody tier off of, their contractors like that. How did you kind of come up with that system?
Um, um, School of Hard Knocks.
Yeah.
Well, and being in the corporate world for so long, I just kind of learned how to level and silo people wherever it made sense, and where to blend them whenever it made sense. Because at the same time, while you're rehabbing a house, you don't want to overlap too many contractors at the same time, right? Because people are going to step on each other's toes, and work quality will be compromised, and then the blame game starts, right? Every It's always somebody else's fault. And, so I've just learned by looking at the quality of their work and gauging it against my expectations, of what the end project is supposed to look like.
Mhm.
And so that's how I developed my tiering system.
I love that. Well, I mean, kind of what you were saying, you've seen a lot of, ups and downs in the market and you've, gone through your own trials and tribulations. What have you kind of seen through the market in the last 21 years and where do you think we are today, especially with, flips and, stuff like that?
If you're a new or newer real estate investor looking to launch or grow your real estate investing business, please check out Investor Fuel Club. It's a coaching community, but unlike anything you've ever seen before. And you can actually partner with members of our mastermind from coast to coast on deals right in your market. There's no better opportunity to build a consistent business than to literally partner with pros to help you avoid costly mistakes, avoid the need for capital to do deals, and help you eliminate your fears as you're starting your business. Learn more about Investor Fuel Club at investorfuel.com/club.
Well, from a buy and hold perspective, I made it through the 07, 08 market crash unscathed. It was fine. Of course, back then I only had 8 properties at the time. Now we're up to 35 doors, and so it's been a bit more challenging in the current market to uh, navigate what's going on because wages are not going up as fast as inflation is. So I have to be very careful and very thoughtful about rent increases. So far, I'm keeping them flat. So as not to run off the people that are currently paying the rent and paying the bills. But I've also had to pivot in filling the vacancies. I previously had a property management company and I had to let them go. Um, they weren't meeting my expectations. And so brought all of those properties back into my self-management circle. And so it's taken me about a year and a half, almost 2 years to get everything back on track, getting better quality tenants, incorporating guerrilla marketing tactics to find um, tenants to fill the vacancies. So where we were at a 67% vacancy rate, now we're down to 2%. And that's just the buy and hold side.
Yeah.
So I've also started incorporating short-term and mid-term rental concepts into our portfolio to be diversified in the type of client that we are catering to. Um, granted, they usually pay more rent than the average long-term renter, but then sometimes they can cause more damage. So you deal with that battle. Now, as far as the flipping side of things, I've done a lot of residential flipping, some small commercial flipping, and the market right now is very slow in San Antonio, South Texas. The market's very slow. People are staying put. They don't want to spend the money. They don't feel their money can go as far. Now, house values are dropping in our market. So they're kind of like level correcting the inflated prices that we had during COVID.
Uh-huh.
So we're seeing that drop off, and it's not making sense right now for me to flip at this market moment because sellers are still wanting COVID dollars and prices for their homes, and the market's not there anymore.
Mhm. Yeah, I know. It's really about kind of adjusting your strategy to where the market is. Can you give us an example of some time or a time where you really needed to pivot in the moment?
Absolutely. So a year ago, I got a referral lead for a home and estate situation through one of my non-real estate networking groups, and got the property under contract, and went into that rehab with a partner, and she was funding the entire project. So she wanted to just sell it as a traditional rental, and when we started the process, the numbers were looking favorable, but as time dragged on and dealing with um, unvetted contractors that I did not choose, um, it dragged out the rehab process. And during that time, the market value started dropping. And as a result, we weren't getting offers on the property where the numbers needed to be to make sense.
Right.
So um, the way I ended up pivoting on that property was my partner wanted out. So I bought her out, and that home was just screaming. It was screaming that it needed to be a senior residential care home.
Mhm.
And so I started marketing and reaching out to those people in that industry. And sure enough, we got a 5-year contract. It's triple net. And so now they are paying all of the taxes, the insurance, the maintenance, the everything, and the base rent. So, had I not pivoted, I would have lost out on that opportunity from having just a traditional gross rent paying long-term tenant to now having a 5-year triple net tenant.
Yeah, I mean, that's a great example. Kind of being creative with the market as well. Well, this has been really, I mean, you have a really great way of how you look at your portfolio and how you adjust and how you build your team. If you could, if you, something that you wish you learned earlier in your career that you could share with us today to kind of wrap this up.
So, something that I wish I would have learned earlier is that you can buy properties off market.
Mm,
For the longest time, I kept buying everything off MLS, and I was paying full market value. I didn't know that I could buy them directly from the seller, that I could buy them from banks and foreclosure lists and word of mouth. But now I know.
yeah.
And my current residence, um, I was unaware that it was in foreclosure at the time when I bought it. And so if I would have known that back then, I would have asked for a sub 2 instead of instead of securing a full loan. But we have our home. We're in our forever home. We're never going to move. So it all worked out in the end. But I think knowledge about the creative ways of acquiring property and getting the financing. I was doing it the long, hard way of getting bank loans, traditional bank loans, which was easier to do while I had my W-2 job.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where I had like 10 mortgages under my social, and the industry you already stop. You can't get any more loans. That's it. And then I learned about portfolio loans.
Mm,
And so was able to roll everything out, and now everything's under an LLC and multiple LLCs. And so we're mindful about all that now. So
yeah.
those are some of the things that I wish I would have known earlier, but I'm glad I know now.
Mm,
Better late than never.
right.
So regardless of what age or stage in life that you're at, you can get started in investing. You can secure the money. You can get the leads. So don't let the fear stop you.
Yeah. Well, I think that's such a great note to end on. I think that that's really inspirational for people. Tell everyone where to find you and how to connect with you.
Okay, so I'm Elizabeth Luna. My website is heavensentpropertysolutions.com. I'm in San Antonio, and I buy properties in San Antonio and South Texas. So if you have any leads, feel free to reach out and let's see if we can work together.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for being here, Elizabeth.
Thank you for your time.
Thank you everyone for listening. Hope you learned a lot, got some inspiration for your own business, maybe, look at your systems a little bit differently, and we will see you back next time. Bye.
Thanks for joining us for today's Real Estate Pros Show. You can learn more about the amazing benefits of the Investor Fuel Mastermind community, including surrounding yourself with hundreds of other rock stars, 100% financing for your deals, and members-only discounts from vendors you're likely already using that, as a member of Investor Fuel, will save you more than the cost of your membership. Visit investorfuel.com to learn more. If you're interested in joining us as a guest of this show, please visit investorfuel.com/pros to apply. You can also check the show notes for access to free resources, how to get access to world-class lead generation, and much more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss another episode. Have a great day. We'll see you on the next show.